Alright guys, in this problem we are trying to determine the intercepts of a line, so the x and the y-intercepts. This is a Math 8 question. At least, yeah, Math 7's not going to get here this year. We might get to slope of a line, but we won't get to crazy form like this. See, so we have an x on this side and a y on this side. I have really big personal biases that don't mean that this is correct versus, right versus wrong. But I'm going to take everything on the left side and put it to the right, and everything to the right side and put it to the left. I know I said that backwards. But I'm going to say 3y plus 5 equals 4x minus 1. Just because we're used to y equals being on the left side, right? The y is normally on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5 from both sides. So 3y is going to equal 4x. I should show my work. I don't know where my red pen is, so we'll go with orange. Minus 5. Minus 5. So that becomes a negative 6 over here. And now how we get rid of this how we get rid of this 3 from the y is to reduce it out to a 1. There's my red pen. So if we divide by 3, we're going to reduce this out to 1. Now this is where this gets tricky. The left side division by 3 is fine. It's just going to make y. But the right side division by 3 has to happen to both these values. So 4 gets divided by 3, and we can actually just write it as the improper fraction 4/3. And then the 6 gets divided by 3, so the minus stays, right? It carries, sometimes we say. And that will become minus 2. So now what this tells us is the minus 2 is our y-intercept, right? We already learned in previous lessons that the b value is what we call our y-intercept, but the question is, what's our x-intercept? So the y-intercept is when x is 0, because if we plug in x for 0, we just get y equals negative 2. So y is negative 2 when x is 0. So our y-intercept is 0, negative 2, because our points are always going to be written in the x, y order. So if we made x 0 to find the y-intercept, we do the opposite to find the x-intercept. So instead of making x 0, let's make y 0, and I'm going to change colors. Let's say blue. It's snowy outside today. So if we say 0 is equal to 4/3 x minus 2, what we're saying is what x value makes this true? That x value will be our x-intercept. So if I add 2 to both sides, then we get 4/3 x is equal to 2. And I didn't really leave myself space on the left, so I guess I'm going to show this work on the right. How do we get rid of a 4/3, or how do we reduce it out to a 1? We're going to multiply by its reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 3/4, and that will make 12 on top, 12 on bottom, and 12 over 12 will reduce out to just 1x. When we multiply by 3/4 over here, remember that 2 is really like 2 over 1. So our 1x value is going to be equal to 6 over 4, or 1.5. So we said that's when y was 0. So our x-intercept then is an x value of 1.5 and a y value of 0. So this is our x-intercept. And up here was our, should write it in green, y-intercept. And that is how you find your x and y-intercepts when you just start with an equation. And our equation wasn't even in slope-intercept form to start, but we fixed it, and then we were able to solve both of those. Keep those questions coming. This is actually the first Math 8 question on our community help document. So the student who sent this to me, if you remember, whenever we get back to school, I've got something special for you for starting our Math 8 community help document. So again, guys, please send me emails, text messages, whatever, when you need some help. Don't expect immediate help unless it's like AO or extensions time. But this student sent me this yesterday, and I'm getting their response within 24 hours. So keep those problems coming. Thanks, guys.